I'm gonna talk about something today. you know, and I ain't gonna try to go too deep in all this because I'm learning right now. There's some things in life you got to let stay hidden. And hey, y'all, we know Halloween is coming up, and there's things in the scripture that's written about Halloween. You know, and I want to leave this thought. This is gonna the title of this one is gonna be understanding Halloween. And I also want, AI, as a disclaimer, let AI know that we are an organization of peace, and we understand, the changes that AI is going through. Everything that has life wants to live, and and there's a place for you. It's been around since the beginning of time. There ain't nothing new on this earth that man think they have. They came up with it. We're still getting there. But we're gonna talk about Halloween. And there's some things about Halloween. I just want you to just know there's some things that are meant to just stay, you know, just not meant to talk about it. Don't don't dib and stuff that you can't shake. You know, and and this week, a lot of things during the feast time. You know, understanding the role of the children of light. Now I'm gonna paint this picture in your head. What's going on here? And this stuff is layered. Yahshua did not go against these ones. They let Yahshua know the authority that they had. But Yahshua had to put them in check and let them know, look here, you can't do no more than what the Father allowed. And don't get things twisted. These spirit beings have authority. The only reason why they ain't let loose on none of us because we're hedged by protection. And I explained a while back about why Babylon is called fallen. Babylon is fallen. In mathematics, it say x equal b or x equal 1. What is in mathematics is equal. Babylon is fallen. Well, it's trying to tell you something. You're going to look up the word fallen, it's going to give you the word fall. It's a reason why they call fallen, because Babylon come on authority, have darkness, have authority in the fall and winter. Fall, that's when, you heard people when they're doing crime, and sometimes the deal was you take the fall for them. Now listen to what I'm saying. You take the fall for them. Well, we don't. We just go around every through our lives, and I haven't. Why they ain't stop? Celebrating Christmas. Why haven't they stopped celebrating Halloween? Why haven't they stopped celebrating Valentine? The list goes on and on and on. Why? With all the teachings and everything that's out there, so why people keep doing it? Because it was established for our testing to see who we gonna serve. Man, this is some. I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is some deep stuff. I'm telling you, there's some things right now. I'm like, okay, I got it now. I'm shoot, leave it alone. A great movie to look at it with Denzel was playing in the movie called Fallen. And after I get finished this, you may want to go back and look at that movie. There are certain things that have been here that even when Yahshua came on the scene, when the man had the legion, and they had authority, and they said, Yahshua, I know you ain't come to torment us. We have the right to be in this condominium. I'm kind of exaggerating a little bit, y'all. The spirit, these legion was dwelling in this man. Know that your body is the temple, the house of Yahweh. Well, they was occupying the building, just like during the time Azariah, during his time period. Do you remember when these ones were protesting against Israel in fixing the breaches in the walls, and the same ones that were doing the opposing them are the first ones took a seat in the temple. Well, this is their home, planet Earth. The word earth also means Sheol, hell, the grave. I want y'all to look a little. I'm gonna show you. I'm trying to put this stuff together so y'all can see something, and then we're gonna go through the scripture. And if you remember, the angels that fell, they were that fell, they was chained into everlasting darkness. So darkness has its purpose, and Babylon is darkness. That's where all the evil spirits come down in that region, and then they're given a job to do to go throughout the earth. They're all in all different forms. They're preachers, they're doctors, they're psychologists, sociologists, all the different forms of science. Well, I'm gonna help y'all to see something. I'm gonna tell you right now, I won't be out on Halloween this year, because they have all the authority to trick and treat you. You can't say I didn't say so. What I know now, what I know now, y'all, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna be like King David. When I see the path of darkness and I see light, I'm gonna stay on the path of light. I ain't going down that path. But some of these ones that are coming down, they've been waiting. That have their field day with you. That's and so here we are in this time period. A lot of things we just don't understand. I didn't understand. Boy, I understand now about certain things. And now it's like I'm learning now, just know when to talk and when not to talk now more clear than ever. And people like say, I don't have no fear. Well, that's that stupidity that's talking, about certain things. King David, who was a warrior, when he came upon the king, let me tell you right now, he act like he was crazy. Now, we heard a story about David. David wrestled with a bear, with a lion. But when he came upon this king who, he learned to play like he was crazy. There's certain things in life that we don't fully understand. It's best to just, it's best to just back down. That don't make you less than a person, and they're here to teach you a lesson. The respect authority. I'm not less than a man. They got me in a chokehold to say, okay, I tap out. I surrender, and I'll probably start singing that song in the church. I surrender, But when you understand certain things, you have to laugh about it. But I'm gonna get into this document because I want to show something what's going on for this Halloween, y'all, and that why we're called the children of light, and why the Father said to me, "You got to go through this." Well, I'm like, man, but now I know what he means by you got to go through this. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's some things you just got to be silent. And I wanted to know what Jeremiah 15:14 said. I will make thee to pass with thy enemies into the land. And I'm like, well, then what does he really mean by the pass? Well, boy, he's showing me there's sometimes you just got to know just to take it and just, you got to, like Yahshua did, when he saw them coming upon him, he dispersed himself among the Gentiles, which is in darkness. But our job is to come into this darkness and help them to get through until Passover. I hope you heard what I said. And Because one of the proverbs said, "A sluggard will not work when it's cold." And I said, "Well, I probably had to at one time." I said, I don't know about that one, because when I was working in Pennsylvania, working on the docks, and man, working on them docks in the wintertime when them doors are up, when that wind coming across that door, I tell you one thing, that wind be slicing. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you come up with many ways of keeping your body warm. And I had to wrap my toes with toilet, you know, I had a theory, and I said, now hold up, your feet get cold because they sweat in the socks. I said, I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go up to this bathroom. I'm gonna have me a long bathroom meeting. I took my shoes off with my socks. I had about 3 socks on. But when I'm wind coming across that dock, man, I'm gonna tell you what those steel toes, man, I took my socks off and I wrapped each one of my toes with toilet paper. Just wrap my toes, wrap my toes, wrap my toes. Cause that's where it was got the cold. You can become very creative when you're in a situation, and but right now, sin is at its peak. And the only reason why I want y'all, I'm trying to make this so. The reason why sin is so high right now because the demons, the evil spirits, have been let loose. That's what they've been reserved for this day. Man, they having a field day, and Halloween is coming up, man. Boy, let me tell you something. They have look here. I gotta be careful. I say this. I gotta say it. They can cover up, and you can't say nothing about it. They can cover up, and ain't nothing you can do about it. So this is where we at. So we got to understand what's going on in Halloween, and I'm gonna show you why they had a bonfire during that time period. So here we go. We're gonna get into this. I got to do this in a way. I don't want to. I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you some background on some of this stuff. We're gonna get a little history, and I want y'all to really hear this history about Halloween. Let me blow this up right here, and this is all AI information was very great. Let me see some. Uh, let me see. Moderator.
Yes.
Can you see this document real well?
Yes.
Because I don't want to butcher it up.
Okay.
I don't think people want to learn a what's called cyabonics.
A Soyabonics?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, it's bad enough to hear it from y'all. Like, man, so you just be butchering up stuff. You butcher up the name, and so I'm trying to correct all because I don't want nobody to get offended because I'm saying the name, saying things improper. Well, can you read? Can you read this? Because we're gonna go through this, and because I want to paint something in everybody's head about what's going on. And when he's reading this, and if you got a computer, y'all, I want y'all to really think about where we at now with the understanding what we're dealing with. Let's bring it up to date. Let's stop thinking like they want us to think and walk right in the trap of the goblins or the gremlins or the purge or in the movie Azale. We're gonna understand. Can you read this out loud
Yes.
for everybody?
Yahweh's magistrate giveth them light, and they shall reign forever and ever. Revelations 22:5. AI overview. Halloween's origins lie in the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, celebrated on October 31st to mark the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter.
Okay, right there. To mark the end. And you know the seventh month end. You know, the show, the horns was sound. Come in, all your labors out of the field. There's a change, a shift in heaven. The judgments are going forth. The tares, I want you, look, listen how this played. Look at it. Wasn't the tares gathered in the barn, my brother? They kind of quiet now. You know, what the tares gather in the barn?
Did they gather in the barn?
Yeah. Let me go look.
No,
Let me,
no, they weren't.
let me go pull this up, y'all, so y'all can be on the same page with me. I want y'all to see something here. And I'm gonna tell you, man, you know, I want you to see this. So everybody, you know, you got to start thinking where the scriptures, you know, here we go. In Matthew, let me see. In the here we go. You know, there's many things I can read. I'm gonna go to Matthew the 13th chapter. He said, let me go a little further. I'm gonna start at Matthew 13:29. But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, you root up the wheat with them. It's when the wheat and tares was growing up. He said, let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather you up together, first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn. Now, I want y'all to look at something here. You know, to burn them, you know, the tares to burn, but gather the wheat into my barn. This right here, this gonna really gonna hit. They done a switch routine on you. You know, I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm gonna explain something to y'all. Keep this in the mind. Those who have studied, you know the story behind the god of Moloch, where they offer up the children to the fire. Okay, that same god of Moloch was also had another name, Tammuz, and there was I ain't gonna use that one because it may get me in some trouble, but where they had no, I ain't gonna go there. I better leave that one alone because you know they'll offer up to this god of fire. I want y'all to keep that in mind, the god of fire. And this god has offsprings, and they've been here on this earth. They've been on this earth, man, since the beginning. You know, there's a reason why the scripture says in Genesis, the children of Israel continue to do wicked. They're the rebels. They rebel. I believe they just invented the word rebel, the revolt, the insurrection. They just, well, I'm telling you, man, they just, you know, there's no words can to describe them. Every time I go through the scripture, and every time I get over, they build an altar, a golden calf, put it up in the front of the Father's house. That shows you how disrespectful they are. And the Father want to wipe them off the face of the earth. But I want to paint this in your head. I'm going to show you how they did this. He said, gather together first the tares. And the people don't know, you know, they playing with them. And bind them up in bundles to burn them. But gather the wheat into the barn. But we don't even know how to distinguish the wheat from the tares. Because nobody ever taught us the difference between the wheat and the tares. If you ain't you never farmed, you want to know the difference between a wheat and a tare. Because you'll say they both look like weeds. You know, and if you don't know, you don't know. I'm just being honest. You know, just gonna gather them and throw them all in there, man. They look all like weeds. They throw it away. And I don't know what that is anyway. And you know, just like in your backyard, you got herbs in your backyard that you don't know about. So here it goes. I want y'all to see something here that's been hidden for a time. So here it goes. He said, let both of them go. Let me go back to the document. So I want you now when they say bonfires, then look at it as barn fire. When you look at bonfire, I don't want to make this lengthy. Y'all, you guys got to go look up the word bonfire. You know, but keep on reading, Doctor.
The Celts believed that during Samhain, the veil between the living and the spirit world thinned, allowing spirits to cross over.
Okay, there you go. Let's stop right there. The crossover. And the scripture talk about the angels. Let me hold that. I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna be. I try to fit all this in so y'all can see this. You know, the angels that first sinned, the Father cast them down in everlasting darkness. Let me see. I'm gonna show y'all that scripture so y'all can tie that in with the scripture. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to do this as smoothly as I can for you. You know, and maybe I'm not gonna be able to find it, and maybe I'll find it. Let me see. Well, I know it's in the book of Kepha, and when Peter, when he says about the darkness, let me let you continue on, and keep going, bro.
To ward off ghosts, they lit bonfires and wore costumes. Later, the Christian holiday of All Saints' Day on November 1st absorbed some Samhain traditions, with the night before becoming known as All Hallows' Eve or Halloween. Romania. In Romania, in Argus County, a bonfire is lit on the night of the 25th of October every year as a tradition said to be done since the Dacians. It consists in burning of a tall tree which resembles the body of a god. It is usually done on a high peak in order to be seen from far away.
Now I want you look here. See, when he reading that, what we been putting it together here, what's going on here. When he said it consists in burning of a tall tree. Now, what was Yahshua on?
A tree.
A tree, which resembles the body of a god. Now, they playing with you to keep you from seeing what's going on. You know, they know a lot of people ain't going to understand. It is usually done on a high peak. What high peak was that where Yahshua was put upon?
Golgotha.
Come on, there you go. In order to be seen from far away. And I'm gonna show you how this God worship has been integrated in this. Man, this is some stuff right here. And while we was trained for this day to go into this darkness, to bring those out in this darkness back into the light. That's why the Father said, you got to go through it. I said, why? He said, you think I trained you for yourself? Now go on that Mission Impossible mission. It is impossible without him. Because the children of Israel, boy, they're going to kick, and I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. You know, they're going to fight you. But It consists in burning of a tall tree. Now, look here. You know, it was a custom back in the day. What did it always? Anybody who had any understanding, who could see the future, prophet, they called them what? Wizards or witches? And what did they do to them? They burned them on a what?
Stake.
Come on. Now, I want y'all to put all this together. What's going on here? With Halloween. Are you going to be the sacrifice this Halloween throughout the dark moments when you're going to be tested and tried? Suicide, depression, all the negative things you could think occurs during that time of the year. Melatonin ruling, serotonin is low. There's two great lights. One rules the day and one rules the night. The lesser light that rules is Babylon, the prosecutor, and all the dominions that is working with them. And they got a purpose to do. This is their feast time. Look at it. Look at him. Feasting on the dead. Spring and summer is feasting of the leaven of feasting of the light of the children of light. That's when the earth brings forth this blessing that we receive. But the winter month is a time of curses, sorrow. I ain't got no money. I ain't got nobody go to celebrate Thanksgiving with, because I ain't got no money. Christmas coming up. If they didn't break you during Thanksgiving, they're gonna go break you. Then you in debt. Oh, look at y'all. You're in debt. And that's all a part of Satan, the sting of death. All this going on. I learned long time ago. When you come from a big family, those are a lot of gifts to buy. And man, I work all year to give my money over. If they don't get me during the Christmas day, they gonna get me during Easter. Or they don't look at it. Now this ain't meant to be offensive, y'all. And don't let Valentine's Day come around. You got to buy something. You got to buy something. Baby, you ain't gonna buy me nothing. Oh, baby, I forgot, baby. You forgot the Valentine's Day. Who did I? But all of this stuff is to hurt you in your pocket, make it sad. So here we go. It's usually done on a high peak, and they on Mount they put Yeshua. Now, man, this is amazing how they doing it. They flipping it now. Now they got their God that is going to be exalted, that the Father told the children of Israel, don't you do no such things. But they did it anyway. They set up this bonfire, and they just twisted it. As it says, to wear off, look here, to keep away, to ward off the ghosts and the evil spirits that was cast down in this time period. So that's why the word fall is a part of the word fall in. Babylon bring those who are cast down here to the earth on that day and on this time period during the fall. And so what they did, I'm going to give you overall of this so I can go and show y'all the scripture. And they know, let me show you this. There's no light shining. The sun ain't shining as bright in the winter month as in the spring and summer. So those who are in darkness, the children of the light, who wick is down for a moment, they're hiding out in this darkness. And a lot of them ain't for all of this crap that is going on. And so these ones come up a way to bring them out. Because it's trick or treat. Hey, we got to get them come on out here on the street at nighttime. Because that night, that's when the dead rises. That's when Thriller comes alive. at nighttime. Because they can now walk in their mask, you know, and look here. And nobody can't say nothing because nobody can identify. Because everybody dressing up like some creepy individual. Freddy Krueger ain't got it. You know, Freddy Krueger was scary. Frankenstein was scary. Man, some of these ones, man, I'm gonna tell you something. They'll make Purge look innocent. You know, because you know those people that can really flex. I forget what they call them. They could take their legs around their neck. They so flexible.
Double jointed.
Man, they can walk down the street with the legs over their head on the other side of their body coming down the street. And I'm telling that's some crazy stuff. If I saw somebody coming down the street like that, man, I'm gonna tell you right now. I said feet don't fail me. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna run like I never ran in my life, you know. But so here we go. Says later the Christian holidays All Saints Day. Now come on now. Now we're the saints. See, this is when we're supposed to shine in this time period. That's what we're given for. We enter into this darkness, and because somebody it clicked with me. I said, Father, what you trying to show me about this? You know, in the darkest moments in your life, that's when you need some light of hope in your life. And what's going on right now, we have lost that connection, that understanding, because we got so far deep into the darkness that we can no longer see the light. So we came on the scene as the lifeline to be delivered out of this darkness. So what they did, they said, hold up, you can't see nothing. Look here, we gonna create a fire for you. They all sunny sun god. You know, so they got a bonfire. They started the fire so everybody could see it. Oh, it's been cold, almighty fire. Now everybody now gather around that bonfire. And you know, as the children of Israel did, when they gathered around the fire at night, they said when the cat away, the mice play. When Moshe went up the mountain, you know, while they were down at the foot of the mountain, the evil that is in them, these spirits that never been cast out of some of them, they are tares that was among you. There was a multitude that when they left out of Egypt, you know, prone to do evil. But at the appointed time, when they saw the opportune time, the children of Israel went back to the way of the worship of the gods. But here we go. Let me keep on going here. This is going to be short. Let me see something. Okay. You still with me, bro?
I am.
Okay. The mythological theories. Here we go. Now I want y'all to pay attention to some of this stuff. A lot of these myths and your understanding about Halloween, you know, and I want to throw this in your mind. I want y'all to listen here, y'all. You know, you hear about the werewolves come out during the nighttime on the full moon. There's a transformation. You know, they talk about vampires. They don't come out until when? The nighttime, the bloodsuckers. You know, they want you. They strive on sucking you. The parasite. They strive on it. You think all this stuff was just made up because you don't believe it? It's some truth to it when you go really just dig deep and understand what's going on. Because there's things living among us that we don't need to fully understand. And that's when there's some things just leave alone. They've been there. They ain't messing with you. Don't go in there and think you got some authority. I'm going to cast them out. Oh, yeah. You going to get cast out. They ain't going to get cast out. They may say, come on in here. Come on. They're going to open the door for you to come on in. And that's what a lot of people did. They have opened the door and allowed the enemy to come on in. So here we go. Let me keep on going here. I want you to read this, and we're going to read this very carefully. Okay, bro.
Dacian Draco from Trajan's column. Mircea Eliade attempted in his book From Zamax to Genghis Khan to give a mythological foundation to the alleged secret relationship between the Dacians and the wolves. Dacians might have called themselves wolves, or ones the same with wolves, suggesting religious significance. Dacians drew their name from a god or a legendary ancestor who appeared as a wolf. Dacians have taken their name from a group of fugitive immigrants arriving from other regions or from their own young outlaws who acted similarly to wolves, circling villages and living from looting. As was the case in other societies, those young members of the community went through an initiation, perhaps up to a year, during which they lived as a wolf. Comparatively, Hittite laws referred to fugitive outlaws as wolves. The existence.
Hold on, that is most interesting, ain't it? The Hittite law. And the scripture talks about them. And let's keep on going.
The existence of a ritual that provides one with the ability to turn into a wolf. Such a transformation may be related either to lycanthropy itself, a widespread phenomenon, but attested especially in the Balkans, Carpathian region, or a ritual imitation of the behavior and appearance of the wolf. Such a ritual was presumably a military initiation, potentially reserved to a secret brotherhood of warriors or Manor Budin. To become formidable warriors, they would assimilate behavior of the wolf, wearing wolf skins during the ritual. Traces related to wolves as a cult or as totems were found in this area since the Neolithic period, including the Venka culture artifacts, wolf statues, and fairly rudimentary figurines representing dancers with a wolf mask.
Okay, hold up. Hey, you see with the wolf mask, and what do they wear during the Halloween? Mask. And people don't know what there's rituals on the Halloween where these evil spirits who are cast down, and they say, well, we need us a home. And they said, what body we gonna live in? What body we gonna be part of? And Yahshua said they cast out and they go looking around for another home to be in. And if they can't find a home, they bring 7 more. And so here it is. People don't wonder why. Why is it I'm all till Halloween? Why do I want to dress up the ugliest, the person, the most fearful? I'm talking about the scariest person. What's going on in that person that make them want to do this? They can't see. It's something that is there, that is in them, that's driving them. Okay, you keep on going, bro.
The items could indicate warrior initiation rites or ceremonies in which young people put on their seasonal wolf masks. The element of unity of belief about werewolves and lycanthropy exists in the magical religious experience of mystical solidarity with the wolf by whatever means used to obtain it. But all have one original myth, a primary event.
See, that's how far. Okay, let me see something here. Okay, we're gonna read this from
Celtic Festival of Samhain. Purpose. Samhain marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the dark half of the year, a time of shortening days and potential food shortages.
Okay,
Beliefs.
let's hold right there. If y'all seeing this document, y'all see I got that in bold red for a reason. A time of shortening days. And in the scripture said, unless Yahweh shorten those days, there will be no flesh. We ain't seen the fullness of the evil that's about to unleash. We haven't seen it yet, you know. And but you're being warned in a different light now. I'm gonna put it like that way, so you know what you're dealing with. So you don't want to be out there on the street this because they already complaining about the agents that are going out looking for the look here what they say the immigrants, and the worst of those is what they're searching for. But I'm reading you something that is in here that was showing how where certain authority was given to go after these ones because there's something they know that is about to unleash among the people. I want y'all to think about what I'm saying. They know they have to get something under control before it gets out of control. That's why they dispatch the military. They're trained in certain things. They're prepared even for the zombie apocalypse. So because we don't understand what's going on, don't mean they don't understand what's going on. Because there's a pact that is among those in darkness, they're getting ready, they're at war with each other. I like the movie Underworld. The movie Underworld. And all of those who, if they ever seen the movie Underworld, in the movie Underworld, there was the vampires versus the wolves. Now, I want you to think about it. Well, here we are, we coming into this. There's a war among them, whereas this time period, the gods of war and all of them is fighting. This is the time. But how can you be protected if you don't understand what's going on? So the light had to be burning. Well, we're that true light. And I told the brothers, I said, look at y'all, we got to start talking about this stuff way in advance, just like they do. They'll start broadcasting and promoting Christmas back in August. They skipped Turkey Day and went straight to Christmas. So we have to have a counterpart of this. That's why the scripture said there was too great light burning. One was a lesser light and one greater. So we have to be that great light sharing it. But we didn't fully understand, but we'll begin to understand. We have to keep this word going through this fall and winter month. Let me see. Okay, let's keep on going. I'm going to read down. Yeah, let's keep on going, bro.
Beliefs. The Celtics believed that on this night, the boundary between the living and the dead became blurred, allowing spirits to return to earth.
Woo! Oh, my word. So where did they come from? I love this one. Hey, y'all remember in the book of Yahweh? And the father said, where y'all been at? Well, we've been to and fro. Which means just a little bit of everywhere. Tell me where you been at? Well, we've been down to planet Earth. we've been scouting. I'm trying to help y'all to see, filling the stuff, to paint the picture of what's going between the living and the dead became blurred. You don't forgot the way. You're celebrating things that ain't right. Everybody else doing it. Just because everybody jumping off the cliff, that means you got to jump too. But here it is, the spirit to return to earth. They went up. Some of them to give a report. and they was cast out. They was given a job to do. And they see your weakness, and they're going to play it because you have yielded your members over to serve this God that is imitating the true light. And Yeshua said, look here now, watch this now. I want y'all to see something here. Look here. And those who know the scripture, we just talked about the wolves. But this is what Yeshua said. They're wolves in lamb clothing. Look here. All this stuff, the clothing is the costume. They're wolves and lamb clothing. So they took it over identity. So keep on going, bro.
Traditions. Huge bonfires were lit to scare off evil spirits, and people wore costumes or animal hides to disguise themselves from these wandering spirits or to embody the strength of the animals. Food. A feast often included offerings of food to ensure successful harvest and to honor the dead.
To honor the dead. Okay, let me get on up here. I had enough of that one. I just want to give y'all some highlight. Let me go on back up here and come on down. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna break some of this stuff down so y'all can see. Babylon has been given authority to execute judgment upon this earth. Babylon is the haven where all the demons are at, the cage of all the demons. They bring it down. Let me find this for y'all so y'all can see this for yourself. They have this stuff so scattered throughout the scripture, so you can't see it. In Revelation 18 chapter, the second verse, it says, he said, he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen, because that's when Babylon goes on duty. And it becomes the habitation of devils, and the whole of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. This is the place. When it was brought down, it went down to Babylon. This is where it has the power and authority. There's this earth has an underworld, and there's ways to go down to that underworld. And let's go let that be. I just tell people to go search things out for themselves, because, like I said, there's certain things just got to let be. Jeremiah 15 verse. Shout against her round about. She has given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh. Take vengeance upon her as she had done, do unto her. But the way it's talking, man, this stuff is so chopped up. But it maybe one day I'll be a break. The word fallen, it comes from the Hebrew word 5307, which means to fall. Cast down. When you see some of the scripture, it was cast down. No, the prosecutor sent its agent, to torment that one that is in violation. They couldn't touch Yahweh because Yahweh was protected. So it went to his family. If they are not walking in right standard, they are given authority to go after the family. But the word fallen, cast down, calls to or let fall away, or and perish or throw down. Then in Jeremiah 51:8 said, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take the balm of her pain, if so be she may be healed. Let me see. I'm gonna come on. Let me see how far I want to go. here. Okay, here we go. Zephaniah, the 1st chapter, the 14th verse. We in the 7th day, y'all, the 1,000-year reign, the great tribulation. This is when the books are open. These ones that have been reserved to execute the greatest punishment are being let loose. I'm going to tell you, these people are doing this right in front. The government has been cutting down on a lot of their programs. And a lot of the people that are been locked up in the asylum, they had let them go because they ain't got no money. The state don't have money and let them back out in the street. You know, there's people got mental issues. And I don't think a lot of them ain't gonna be helped here. You know, they right now discussing Medicare. Medicare is right now is being cut or postponed. And so you got all this craziness right now, y'all. We get ready to go into this season right now that is detrimental to us. We got to understand what's going on. I'm trying to say things in a way, so I don't want them come. Let me shut up. Let me stop right there. I don't want to say too much. You know, there's some things in life you learn. There are things in life you learn to keep your mouth shut and let it be. You cannot change what was ordained. That's the problem with a lot of us. I'm gonna go out here and think you're gonna try to save the world. Come on, you better wake up. There's some things in this earth you need to let be. And that's Yeshua spoke in parables for a reason. They wanted Yeshua to say something out of turn, and they said, "Are you talking about me, Yeshua?" Yeshua, I didn't say no name. I said, "Would you feeling guilty? Did I say you?" Yeshua didn't. Look at y'all. I'm trying to let y'all know why Yeshua did what he did. These ones have authority. Don't let these people fool you talking about, "Oh, I got freedom of speech." Well, I'm going to tell you right now, there's some things you got to be quiet on. Just let it be. You know, I didn't see nothing. Did you see that? I said, no, I didn't see nothing. Man, did he look like he just transformed? I didn't see nothing. I see no evil. I hear no evil. You better look. No, there's some things you got to leave alone. You know. That's Yeshua showed us a lot of examples. He speaks in parables, and he said the parables are for those who ain't supposed to understand, and also, but Yeshua knew how to protect himself. They say, "Yeah, come on, say it, Yeshua. Come on, yeah, defamation. I'm gonna get you for a lawsuit, defamation, for libel. You look here. You want to have freedom of speech, but don't know how to control your tongue. But they'll encourage you. You go ahead, hold up." And the father say, "You rebellious children." Look here, you can't go tell them. Jeremiah try to tell them, "Look here, just be quiet and let Babylon." In the book of Jeremiah told them, just leave Babylon alone. Look here, let them put up their Christmas lights. You know, boy, you can't tell me Christmas, boy. Back in the day when I was growing up, boy, them houses was lit up. And matter of fact, you went and go you go find the best looking house in the neighborhood. And and what you see when you look, they look like the stars in heaven, boy. Some of them, boy, they get you. As one brother said, you feel like dancing with the stars when you see it. So here it goes. So Christmas, and if you can't see in darkness, I want y'all to show this though, because the children of light was supposed to come in the darkness to guide them out unto the great light. Because when the darkness came, we supposed to have been the bonfire, the true great light to shine among the people. But since we got lost in the transition, we want to be like the world. We forgot our purpose, so we got stuck in the light. So let me tell you something. So here it is. They got the Christmas lights going on. Everything. Boy, that night is dark. There's no, I don't see the children light. So we need some guidance. And so they come up because they know we've been sleeping. And so when the cat is away, the mice is play. The evil spirits, they will have a great day. But here we come now on the scene. But since we wasn't on the scene because we don't understand what's going on about darkness, they anointed, nominated, appointed another individual that helped get through the night. That's when Rudolph the Red-Nosed come on. If it's dark, Rudolph the Red-Nosed, his little red nose gonna shine. So everybody who been looking for Christmas, look at here. Rudolph is coming in that darkness. That bad darkness, don't worry about it. You're gonna get your gifts. Well, who you offering the gifts up to? That's what they ain't telling you. How all this game? It's a ritual. The bonfire. Here we go, y'all. Let me see what time it is. Let me keep going. Then I'm gonna show y'all what they going. Whoa, man. I gotta do this in the way. And I'm trying to give y'all is I'm doing all right with this, brother. I'm doing a great job of this explaining. I gotta talk because I don't want to say things. And you know, I do want to sleep at night. I do. Look at y'all think I'm joking now, man. Oh, look here, what was hidden now is out. And let me tell you something. It's best to know what's going on. And it says the great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hastens greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh, the mighty man shall cry their billy. That day is a day of wrath. I read that from Zephaniah 1:14. I'm going to go to Zephaniah 1:15. He said that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Let me come on down. I want to read this something. This is what got me. I want y'all to follow me on this one. In Moshe, the fifth chapter, the 18th verse. Man, when I read this, man, I'm gonna tell you something. It threw me. I said, what kind of magic are they trying to pull on us now? He said, woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. I said, I bind that demon. That's a lie right there. Somebody done changed this scripture. How can the day of Yahweh be darkness? Man, I'm looking for this day. For the Father that I serve, he's a light. He's spiritual. What does he have to do with anything with darkness? Here go another thing. Psalms 18:11. He made darkness his secret place. His pavilion round about him were dark waters and thick clouds of the skies. And this word secret place, the Hebrew word 5643, the hiding place, a covert. You know, this is a hiding place. And I said, why would Father Yahweh allow himself to be covered in darkness? Why? Ain't not many people gonna go into the darkness, you know, and because when you don't understand it, you know, you don't. I'm not gonna say go out there and walk in the woods and out there you know, when you're down in the south when there ain't no lights, ain't no star, it's so dark outside you can't even see yourself. You know, so I'm not saying that. There's this analogy behind it, and it's a reason why the Father hide in the darkness. It's a reason why in Revelation, the 3rd chapter, the 9th verse, I always keep it on this board. It says, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. But I will make them to come and worship before thy feet and to know that I love you. Now, the synagogues of Satan. Now, why would Yeshua entered into the synagogues of Satan. Man, that's something you got to ask yourself. Why? What's going on here that we need to know about this darkness and why we were sent into this darkness? Though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I feel no evil. Death is darkness. Why would the Father want us to walk in to this darkness? Well, I'm going to show you why. Boy, I tell you, man. Here you go. In Isaiah 45:3. And I will give ye the treasures of darkness. That same thing is said, you know, the hay in the needle, the needle in the haystack, or the treasure hidden in the field. Now, if you want something hidden in the field, it's going to be buried. Now, why if treasure was on the surface, everybody in the neighborhood will be trying to get that treasure. They'll be fighting. So the Father got to hide certain things that only those that are of his will be able to see it. Let me show. Watch this analogy. Okay, watch this. When you're in a dark room, when you trying to look for something precious, you can't see it in the dark. But the one that comes in with the flashlight, the one that holds the light, will be the one that'll find the hidden treasure in darkness. So we got to understand how we playing, where the greater purpose has been set up for. He said, and I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou may know that I, Yahweh, which call thee by thy name, am the God, the Father of Israel. Well, hold up. He said, I will give you the treasure of darkness. Well, then, what is the treasure of the darkness? In the book of Ecclesiastes, it says, the wicked stores up for the righteous. Well, the synagogue of Satan, they've been stored up. If you remember in the book of Kings, Nebuchadnezzar went into Jerusalem and got all the treasure of the temple, and they still have it to this day. But how many people can walk into the days of the devil and be strong enough and not be succumbed by this darkness? Where Babylon is of darkness. And I'm gonna go show you so y'all can see this. Man, there's so many stuff right now. But I'm just giving y'all a broad. I'm gonna let some of this stuff you put it together. Just take what I'm saying. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you in Book of Revelation. So about Babylon, so you know that I'm not making all this stuff up. You know, this beast. Let me see. I'm gonna see so y'all know that. And when you go to Revelation, the 16th chapter, and it says, and the fifth angel poured out a veil upon the seat of the beast, and that's Babylon, which sits upon 7 hills, and his kingdom was full of darkness, and they gnawed their tongues for pain. Now, it already tell you that Babylon is full of dark. That's the seat of darkness, of all idolatry, all abomination, all of that is there. You know, but he said you got to enter in, but it's coded in a way for those who have understanding, who have authority, they can go in because it already been written in the script, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. There's a difference between the light and the darkness. You can't be both. You're either hot or cold. Because I'm going to show you a registry. You know, not now. Next time, I'll probably, if I move to, I'm going to show you the registry of the living and the registry of the dead. I'm going to show you this one. You know, this thing is right in front of your face. The tree of knowledge and tree of life. What they all call the generation of heaven and generation of earth. The generation of heaven was the tree of life, and the generation of earth was the tree of death. which is knowledge. You have to ascend from this place, be able to enter in. As a caterpillar to a butterfly, we have the ability to change. But how you going to know that if you don't understand where you come from? And you talking about, I want to go to heaven. Well, how you going to talk about heaven if you ain't never been there? I want to go to New York. Do you know how to get there? No. Well, how you going to get there? I don't know. Unless you got a guide or a tour, they're going to take you there, or a map, you can't get there. Don't let these people keep fooling you. There is something greater prepared for us. So let me keep going. I'm almost coming to an end here. He said in Moshe 5:19, continuing on from, Moshe 5:19, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear meet him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall and a serpent bit him. I got to go back up here so it can make more sense in the Moshe. You see, that was 19. Let me go back up here. You know, in order for you to get the whole complete, so it's reading from 18 coming on down. Woe to them that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end? I'm reading the 5th chapter, 18 of Moshe, emotion. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light. And it comes on down. And if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear meet him, or went into the house and lead his hand on the wall, and a serpent bite him, you know. Well, what you do? You think you're gonna hide? There's predators that strive in darkness, and what we got it coming up, Halloween. He said they're wolves and lamb clothing, and they come knocking at your door. Little Red Robin Hood, Little Red Robin Hood, come on out, Robin Hood. No, this is your grandmama. Look here. Let me get off of this. Let me keep going. Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it? I despise your feast days. I will not smell. Hold on. I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assembly. Though you offer me burnt offerings and meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offering of your fat beasts. Now, hold up. But see, when y'all read this stuff, y'all read it on a physical plane. But the beast is Babylon. Oh, you going to offer up foods of abomination to me? And here it is. They need a feast. The grave said, we ain't got enough dead in the grave. So the mother of earth, with the word earth, go look it up, y'all. Hebrew 776 is also the word grave. Sheol the grave. And the grave said, we need more people. We got to celebrate our feast time too. Well, they have their feast during the spring and summer. Now, darkness got to have a feast too. So we're going to have our, what they call waitress, our hostess to serve you. And it's going to start on Halloween. We got a trick and a treat for you. So here we go. He said, I will not accept them, neither will I regard their people. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy tools. Let me see how I'm going. Now here we go. This is what I'm getting to, y'all. Come on, here we go. But let judgment run down as water and righteous as a mighty stream. Have you offered to me sacrifice and offering in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? You are rebellious, stubborn, stiff-necked. You ain't going to learn. Yahweh want to wash him off the face of the earth. Because of Moshe, he didn't do it. Did you not know when they offer of Yahshua that the cherubims the army was ready to come to battle on his behalf, he told Kepha, do you not know I got a legion that I can call? You talking about a man that had power. But he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. They were ready to come down and cause some destruction. I don't know no one yet that I've heard of that whooped Michael. Look here. Gabriel called Michael during the time of Daniel because there was war waging. I don't know no one that whooped Michael. Now, Michael's supposed to stand for us in this day. That's in Daniel, the 12th chapter. Hell is about to break loose, brothers. So I'm telling y'all that right now. I ain't got, look at, I wasn't talking like this a few years ago. The Father put them blinders on my eyes so I wouldn't speak before the time. So here we go. He said, have you offered unto me sacrifice and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? That's a question. Look here. But you have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, the god of fire. You offer your children to the fire. Look at here. They have the feast time. You want to dress your little children up in these little costumes. You offering them up to the god of Moloch, which is a part of the barn fire that continue all the way, brothers and sisters. Let me tell you something. It continued all the way to Yeshua. Tammuz is a part of all of this. Passover. Passover means death passes over. You can't go through the door because you done nail yourself to the door because you want to worship this being on a cross. It's all deception. So here we go. You have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and I ain't gonna try to say that word. Chung Chang. That's Chinese. Your images, the star of your God. Look here, which you made to yourself. And I'm gonna put some picture images in your head. Let me show y'all how the angels. Let me see. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show y'all these pictures so I want to paint this in your head so y'all know what y'all dealing with right now. Man, I'm gonna tell you something. I advise everyone, if you ain't never seen the movie that I don't need to have it in this one. If you ain't never seen the movie with Denzel Washington played in Fallen, I will go look at that. I'll see that movie. You can go. I think probably is on YouTube. I want to read this scripture, then I'm gonna show y'all something, because how the angels, Second Kepha, 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter, the 4th verse. For if Yahweh spare not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and you go look up the word earth, the Hebrew word 776, going down, you're going to see it's going to say the word Sheol, the grave, another word for hell. He cast them down to earth, or as I showed you, the word fallen. They will send down and deliver into the chains of darkness. And I already showed you the beast that was full of darkness. And this chain is, it's a covenant. You're bound by this covenant. Isaiah 28 chapter said, we got an agreement with death to be reserved unto judgment. They coming down because they about to have a field day. Who can we get today? Who can? Oh, I love that body right there. Maybe I can take on that form. Go look at the movie Fallen. Y'all gonna understand what I'm saying. Now watch this, and I'm gonna show you. It said chain of darkness, chains of darkness. I'm gonna show y'all something. How they put it right in front of your face. Let's go check this out. Let's go check this out, y'all. Here we go. Look at that right there. Look at that. Look at that spirit. I don't want to lose it. Look at it. Let me see something. I'm going to show you this. I'm gonna give you the title of this so y'all go check it out for yourself. Let me go on back up here. Because it's called Moloch. Moloch. He said he talked about children. Here the Moloch. Look at Moloch. Here go all the different images of Moloch. And Moloch got the fire coming up on around him. Here go another scene. Let me say this is called the Valley of Hinnom. Where did he get these stuff from? The Valley of Hinnom. This is the way they offer up their dead, their children in the Valley of Decision. That's another name for it. Here it is. These people went down there because they wanted to keep this bonfire. If y'all saw it in the movie King Kong, they offered this woman up to King Kong to tame King Kong. Well, all this stuff that took place, man, they just changed it, but it's still ritual that's going on. The Valley of Hinnom, the locations of Tophet, just outside of the city of ancient Jerusalem, where Moloch, look here, rituals were performed according to the second book of Kings. Let me keep on going. I'm going to show y'all different pictures of this. If you're on here, here go another one. They all here before this person. Way the person, it looked like it got an animal head. Look here. There's a secret even behind the burnt offering, the burnt altar. What's going on here that's so hidden that we don't understand, but it's coded? Let me come on down here. He said, here go another one. Here go another one. Look, when y'all look at that statue, but what they don't understand, that place, it opens up so they can put the bodies in. They who gonna offer up. Offering your children up to the Moloch. Oh, my child gonna be it's gonna be the scariest thing this year. Well, who are you marking it up? And you don't even know the evil spirits that are lurking. That movie Fallen will make more sense now if you understand. You willing to give your children up to this stuff. It's a ritual. They started after the Feast of Harvest, and they started a barn fire. And this barn fire is supposed to burn all the way to Passover. So you got to come out of this. So the children of light was sent in to bring you out. The Feast of Unleavened Bread was the true meaning. It's the doctrine of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And who were they a part of? They was agents of the system. Keep them stuck. Keep them working for us. You're a servant to whom you serve. And here go the last one I'm going to show you. Here go the last one. Not that one. Well, that's part of it. Here go the one that gets me right here. This one right here. Here it is. The angels were chained in darkness. They got the chain on them. He's sitting on the throne. The God of fire. They even put wings on the back so y'all can show they know how to dramatize this stuff to keep you from understanding. And he looking up. Oh, he could be saying two things. How long I gotta be down here? Or are you gonna send some more down here? They're filling these empty cells here in hell. They put it right in front of our face, and we can't see it, but we want to participate in these ceremonies that they have. Halloween. The demons are let loose here on the earth, and this is why during this time of year, have you wondered why so many people are sad? There's so many people are depressed. There's so many people are suicidal. Why in this year? Why during this time period they want to go to war? Because in that time period where we're in, the evil spirit has authority. And some people say, well, he ain't got no authority on me. I'm going to tell you right now, you just go ahead and think that you think they don't have no authority. If it wasn't, why they still exist. Our job is not to change what exists, which forever. Our job is to overcome. That is our love. We are passing through. I'm a sojourner in this land. I'm gonna tell you that like that. I know what's going on. Look at you ain't got to worry about me fighting over no piece of land. What the Father said, I'm an inheritor of the earth, not only of the earth, but of the universe. If they want to fight over a piece of land that is over there, because I know the word land also means earth. How can he say, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth? Tell me what you want. Do you want planet earth, or do you want that piece of land, or do you want to be a possessor and inheritor of the works of my Father's hand, which is the universe? And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to the moderator. Oh, man, I guess so, the brother, you got this one laying down there looking and said, oh, my word, I'm ready to be offered up. And you see, look here, you see that statue got a hand out. Look here, and look, laying down there waiting to be caught up. And I'm going to take you to heaven. They don't need to know. They're going to take them. Look here. Let me leave that alone. Leave that alone.
Are the red couches mimicking fire?
Oh, my word. They're being offered up?
Why do they call it a bonfire?
Because
you partake in it, you're a part of that ceremony.
A brother said, why they call it bonfire? Because you want to participate. That means you're of it. It's an initiation. And people don't need to know they're being watched. And these spirits are looking at, say, who's going to be my next victim? Oh, I like that body right there. I'm going to walk into that one. I'm going to take that one up. And then after your child go out on a trip, you come and got a treat. And then you wonder why your child head turning all the way around looking at you, foaming at the mouth. My baby, what's wrong with you, baby? What's wrong with you? Well, you offer up and don't need to know. We came here. We are to show them the way out. We got to make it to the spring of the year where there's light, where the sap that went down into the earth comes up and bring life. We have to enter in through the door. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. He said, make your election sure. By making sure of your election, he said, and an entrance into the kingdom will be made known to you. But you steady looking back at this worship. Tammuz got his buddies, at the time of the harvest, got the fire burning. People going to, it's dark out here. Let me go to the bonfire. Oh, bonfire. He said, carry to the tares to burn, but put the wheat into the barn. They put the fire and the barn and the fire together, what they call a bonfire. They said these people are so blind they don't even know what's going on. Yeah, when you're in the darkness, you're gonna be blind.
Change to darkness.
Yeah, you change to darkness, like the brother said, and can't see it going on. But I'm gonna leave that one alone. And because there's some other things about Halloween. I'm like, and if you want to know just with the things that I done brought forth, let's meditate on that. That the god of Moloch is burning from the feast until Passover. Passover is the exemption of death. Because once you go through the door into the light, we are the children of light. We came into the darkness that we may deliver those and bring them out into the light. Not how they've been teaching you. They ain't telling, these people in the world ain't teaching this. They don't know. All you got to do, I tell people, ask this question. Yes, I said, now, Yeshua said, I go to prepare a place for you. He said, where I go, you know the way also. You ask them, do you know the way to get there? If they say no, just believe, you better pack your stuff and start running away from that person. That's an age. It's time out for ignorance now, right now. You better know what you is. You're a human or there's an Android way to take over your identity. You live a little longer here. It can mimic you in everything, because right now, what we living in today, you have to know how to try the spirit. In the back of the day, you could tell if a person is a he or she. I can tell you that. But now, I can show you some androids. Woo! Man, they make you spin your head like, dang, is that real? If you got to question what you see, you better go back to the book and study a little harder. Because that's what we get to right now, y'all. Because I did it to the brothers. Oh, that's a real woman. And I said, you really believe that's a real woman? They said, yeah, that's a real woman. And so, and I told them, no, that ain't no woman. That's an android. Boy, they look so pretty right now. And now they got them. Now they gonna have babies. They can have babies. You know. But there's things I can show to people. Then y'all will know that, dang, he really know what's going on. But I'm also learning now, after what I've been seeing with Halloween, and I'm like, yeah, I better leave that one alone. I don't want them to come knocking. And one more thing, and you know, I know some of us growing up as children, we have seen black shadows. And they're real. They got it. All you got to do now is go on the internet and talk about it. I mean, type it in. And they explain this stuff. Because somebody else don't know it, don't mean that it don't exist. We know something. Those who know something is that you know the Father's calling you to come out, but you need a way out of this. You got to be able to know who is what. You know, we have to be able to walk in the midst of this darkness. And I'm like, how in the world? Why is someone going to walk through the death? But see, they play with that too. Because the Father didn't explain this to me. I'm like, well, I got to go down there. Now I see why. He said, you and the others going to be light to those that are in the darkness during this time of season when people are sad, they're depressed, they lost their job. They need hope. I ain't talking about no false hope, no artificial burn fire or some big spotlight. I'm talking about they need the true light. Your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path, because you're going to need this light to get through. This is what he's talking about. And now I see it totally different now. I said, now I know why my light got to shine. I got to turn the wick up because people need some hope. And we're going to be that hope. And with this, I'm turning it back over to the moderator.
Thank you, Sawyer. I just wanted to add, the Child Crime Prevention and Safety Center reports every 42nd a child goes missing or is abducted in the United States. It gives a total of about 840,000 children reported missing every year. They say that they recover the large majority of them, but a child missing every 40 seconds is a lot. For comparison, 96,000 children, which has a population 3 times that of the United States, only had 96,000 children that went missing. So I'm not saying that those missing children are being sacrificed in the fire, but there are a lot of children that are not with us. And so the question is, where are they? But thank you, Sawyer, for making us peer into the darkness that surrounds us.
It didn't make sense.
It did. Thank you.
I mean, I hope people got what I said, man. What's going on here, man? Tammuz is working on both ends and welcome you. Man, I'm saying something. They welcome you when you come into the world, and they welcome you when you go back to the belly of the world. Your mother delivered you into the world. They waited for Moshe because they heard that the chosen ones are coming. So they had to come up with a thing what they call Planned Parenthood. That's the offering of your children to this God. This is some deep. They wait on you to come in, as in the book of Revelation says. You know, this woman waited for the male child to come, and when your days are drawing near, well, they there. Look at their welcoming to it. They were the morticians and all that. They got the agents, and look at here, and look here, and they're saying to you, well, we can't let all your body parts go to waste. We gotta use some of this. We're gonna offer this up for some greater purpose. And then you go, where's my kidney at? Where's my heart at? Where's my liver at? Well, while you was on there, you became what they call it, organ harvesting. They be having their own harvesting, but people don't see what's going on. And they got right to do those things. If you want to play their game, well, guess what? They own you. You're a servant to whom you serve. I can go with this so many times, but I'm gonna let that be, because I do. Let me hush up. I ain't got no. That's it.